Hello and welcome to Lion'sMawGaming. Today we're going to be starting our journey into one of my favorite games of all time. It's one that's received a lot of critiques. So a lot of people aren't huge fans of it, but it's one of my favorites. And there's some valid criticism, but there's also a lot of genuine great storytelling and game design. So if I can't convince you to play it, I'd hope I could at least convince you to watch it to get to experience the story that way and see what this great game has to offer. Let's get right into it. We'll be playing on normal mode. I'm no baby gamer.
The 13 days after we awoke were the beginning of the end.
You serious?
Be quiet.
Best of luck. She did it! Hands high! Freeze! You alright? I'm not a see. So far, so good. They all want to fight.
Good for them. Give me that.
What the? Run! I've been away!
I'd like to remind all of you that this game came out in 2009. This is not a remastered edition. This is simply being played on the PC with the same code as it had back when it first came out.
Hey, let's be
This game came out 2 years before Skyrim, 2 years before Dark Souls.
Send the big guns now. What do we do?
Watch and learn.
This came out in the era of the Wii. And we have lightning and saws. And I'm going to skip the tutorial and I'll teach you myself. Basically, you have an ATB gauge that's building up on the left there. You can see it build up. You can choose auto battle. You can use, you basically fill that gauge with abilities, which can be attack or blitz right now for lightning. You deal damage to the target. You'll see that their HP is above them. Auto battle usually chooses your best options, provided you aren't trying to do anything specific. Auto battle is pretty safe. Most of the game's involvement in battles comes later on, after the main mechanic is introduced, but it takes a bit of the prologue to get through.
Hey, that wasn't like a challenge now, right? Hey!
I will check settings after this fight, or after I get control, and I will try to up the volume of their voice. I didn't realize it would be this low. I will edit it in post and make it a little louder, but the game volume is going to be louder too, until I can edit that. But it'll be fixed. And there's the little chocobo.
Heads up.
This thing won't give up.
One thing that I actually really enjoy about Final Fantasy is that every single game that is numbered separately. So in this case, this being 13, there's actually 2 other 13 games. There's 13-2 and Lightning Returns. I am by far the biggest fan of this game. I understand Lightning Returns has been a lot of people's favorites. It was less so mine, but that's due to me just not really meshing with the gameplay style. I did still play it to get the story, but it was cool. Where did I start that statement? Jesus. I'm really ADHD. Thoughts. Can't remember where I was. It's fine. I'm dying. I'm gonna have to use a potion. There we go. We're golden. And there's the boss. Well, him. There's our rating. Ratings will be explained later too. And we got 6 potions from that for using 1. Not too bad. This first episode is going to be a bit longer than the others, just because there is a lot of starting cutscenes in this first one. So I'm going to add a bit of time on for that, so you guys get to see more gameplay and we get a little further into the game. But after that, the episode is going to be anywhere between half an hour to 45 minutes.
We did it. Aren't you supposed to protect civilians, soldier? I mean, you are Sanctum, aren't you? What are you doing trying to stop the purge? Why don't you tell me that?
I was a soldier.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Man. Chocobo, we just can't catch a break, can we? Yeah, that's a good question. Oh well. Better follow up.
We're at the hanging edge, the restricted zone. I'll also see if I can turn on subtitles for the entire experience, because it's currently only on for dang it. We're gonna get some unlocks. I am using a controller, so no, just leave it how it is. It's grand. Data logs. Here's a thing. The data log, a primer. You possess an advanced digital journal known as a data log that autonomously streams information deemed pertinent. Whenever the data log records a new entry, the dogs are barking, I'm going to cut. Sorry about that. Whenever the data log records a new entry, a notice will appear in the upper left corner of the screen. To peruse entries, press E and open the main menu, and then you select the data log. Okay, so that is our data log. Luckily, the controls appear to be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and leave battle speed as it is. I believe you can knock it up. Oh, no. It doesn't go up. It goes down. Auto battle. Where are our options? We got event subtitles. I want on. Speaker names. Yes, actually. That will help people. Target selection. Battle help messages. Why can I not find audio options? That may have to be done at the start menu. Okay, in regards to the data log. After I outro a video, I am actually going to go over every new data log that we've obtained in the episode. So, for those of you that are interested in staying around, you are welcome to. Those of you that don't want to, don't have to watch it. It's the best way I can think to do it. I will read them, and that's what we'll go with. Alright. For now, we're going to head through. A lot going on. Here's our first save point. Can access that. And you can also shop. We're just going to go ahead and save. And we are good to head forward. Oh, wow. No, hold on. Okay. They asked if I wanted to change the camera, and I assume they kept it normal. Standard. Thank you. Much better. Holy cow. Except for the ones that they're going to force me to read. Enemy encounters. Many and various enemies stalk the roads that you must travel. Upon entering an enemy's detection radius, the mini-map in the upper right-hand corner of the screen will flash a warning. Coming into contact with any enemy will initiate a battle. And you can see that it flashed right there. Now we've got some soldiers. Psychom Warden. Like I said, battle is going to be pretty basic early on. There's the stagger bar up top, but that is a mechanic that is used later, as well as the main mechanic of the game, as I mentioned. I'm also not gonna... I'm gonna do my best not to spoil anything, because this is a very story-based experience. And we're gonna just travel forward. Come on, Saz. I understand you're looking at the glowy orb, or the glowy disc. Ring? It's a ring. But we've got bitches to fight. Also, you'll note that at the beginning of every fight, you come in at full health. You come in at full strength, no matter what. And every battle is just a test of your abilities. So there's no battle of attrition in this game. Everything is just how well can you do. So it makes a lot of fights that can be basic fights, can be very difficult. But it also makes the game very consistent. So you don't have to deal with being like, oh, well, I fought too many enemies, now I need to go heal. You just heal at the beginning of every fight. It also makes items far more specified for use in other cases. Here's our first example of Blitz being used. It takes 2 bars of ATB, and it does a big roundabout slash that'll hit multiple enemies. Also, at any time, you can press Y on the controller. I don't know what the keyboard button is. It's the same button that brings up your menu. And it will instantly activate the ATB gauge as far as it's full. Just things to note. You only control the one character you're controlling. The other characters act on their own. And that is nice because this would be incredibly difficult to do with an active battle system to try to do everyone. We're going to pop open this chest. And we get a potion. I don't believe this will be a 100% playthrough, but it will be a rather detailed one. I'll also do my best to stay quiet during cutscenes.
Not wanting to get purged, I get. But taking on trained soldiers?
Better to die than get sent to Pulse. It's hell with the brimstone.
Yeah, well, hell's not sounding too bad. Because this place ain't exactly paradise.
Domesticated peacekeepers. Nothing to worry about.
Maybe not for a soldier girl, but I'm trying to say, hey!
And here we go. We got some peacekeepers. They're Pantherons, is what they're actually called. And they are beasts. But they are domesticated, as you can see. They seem to be a lot more technologically inclined than what you'd expect. But that also reflects their strength. And here's actually a stagger. Okay. Enemies build up stagger bar as you attack them repeatedly. You can see that in the top right. You see that it builds up. Right now, their stagger limits are very low. And as long as the bar doesn't reach the bottom, the stagger will continue to build. Once an enemy staggers, they instantly take an additional 100% damage. For most enemies, some enemies take even more than that, and that is also usually a vital mechanic for battles. It becomes far more important later when we get other mechanics.
No need to be pushing now.
But it's handy now in general. I'm gonna just go ahead and save as we come across stuff, just to keep things caught up on the off chance, honestly, that something crashes.
Real nice from up there.
Because I don't expect this game to crash, but my computer can be wonky sometimes. So that's the reality of the situation. Here we have another new enemy. This is the aerial recon. They like to fly about. Now for me, a lot of this game's appeal is in the just uniqueness of its style. I think it's a very unique Final Fantasy game as far as looks. I think that the combat is actually very interesting and engaging. A lot of people don't like it. I'm a big fan of the progression system, which will be shown later. And I'm also a very big fan of just the characters in general. We just got an Iron Bangle, so we can equip that to one of our characters and give them an extra 50 HP. And we're going to go ahead and throw that on Lightning, because if Lightning falls, we lose. If Saz falls, we're okay. So we're going to try to avoid losing. However, if you do lose a battle, you are just sent back to right before that battle happened, which is another nice mechanic. I hear a chest, which means there's one right back here, behind us. Right there. Bang. There's 50 gil. Gil is the currency in this game. 50 is not very much. But it is what it is. And that's one Psychon Warden down. You'll see that Blitz does about the same damage as 2 attacks. A little less overall. But it also does AoE damage, so it lets you hit a bunch of units at once. And there's Phoenix down. If you played Final Fantasy, you know what those do. Those are basically your revives. Use it on a teammate when they go down, and they are brought back to half health in this game, I believe.
Preemptive strike.
And this is introducing preemptive strikes, except they're not. They act like they're gonna.
I'm in a surprise.
Item usage. I got it. I kind of already went over it. We're golden. Take out this Warden. He's going to do a lot of damage, and he has low health. This game is actually unique. It's actually much better to target smaller enemies first, eliminate them, and then target big enemies because of the way that stagger bars work and just in general how things function in the game. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. And we got a Wicked Fang, which is an item that'll be used later. Got another save point up here, and also that exploded.
Do we turn back?
There's no time.
Then what do you suggest we do?
Quiet.
Hey! Wait! No, don't leave me!
Let go.
No, hell no! You're my only way out of here! No! Hey, that might get us across. Right there. Right?
Looks that way.
And here we are. Oh, great. More Pantherons. Big thing about this game, as of right now, there's not really any reason to be fighting these guys. I'd like to skip them, but they're kind of forced. The experience mechanic has not been introduced, unfortunately. but it will be shortly. This game does end up starting somewhat slow as far as gameplay, but the story starts out pretty strong in my opinion. You have a lot of unanswered questions. It cuts right into the action of the game. So it's a pretty good start overall. Saz is feeling it, but that's okay. Because this Pantheon is about to get messed up. And he will be fine for the rest of the fight. And as you saw there, it is actually possible to miss your attacks. Something that just kind of happens. But it can happen to enemies too. So, it's not too bad.
Hey, this way. Come on.
I get it. I want to save. Move! I don't know why the save point's facing the wrong way, but it is. I'll go over the shop when we have a bit more money. And a bit more reason to do so. But we're going to go ahead and activate this. And across we go.
Not our lucky day.
Let's go. Bring it on.
D4Ts, are we? Weapons down. I'd hate for this to turn ugly.
Turn ugly?
He wants to kill us without a fight.
Time's up!
Alright, attack chains. This is staggering enemies. I'll explain it later when it makes more sense. The Marauder is the big guy. He is charging a mana drive. I need to kill his friends before he causes problems. Ow! Those are said problems. Jerk! Any attacks that aren't used up will be, you keep your ATB. And now we're on the Marauder. Like, so, if you saw there, I had my attack action, like, interrupted by him stabbing me. But it causes, you still keep the ATB gauge charged, so the next charge will build up faster. We staggered him, which stopped him from charging the the mana drive. He is stabbing Saz. I'd like him to stop doing that. We'll go ahead and pop a potion for Saz. There you go. And then we'll finish messing him up. As you see that he's staggered, he takes an extra 100% damage, which is a lot whenever we were not dealing very much to begin with. Staggering becomes far easier later. We got a credit chip. That is worth 500 gil. That is a good item to get. Credit chips are great.
So, soldier. What's your angle? What? Classified military info? Huh? What's the matter? You quit, didn't you? Did you think I'm gonna go out there and just tell everybody your secrets?
My angle. I'm after the Fal'Cie. Still happy you tagged along.
Didn't have a choice.
On behalf of Cocoon citizens, I would like to thank our brave false pioneers and express our best wishes for a successful relocation. Your noble and selfless sacrifice ensures the continued safety and peace of our society. Were it not for this remarkable gesture, every resident of Cocoon, your family, your friends, your neighbors, would be exposed to the dangers of the world below. By choosing to leave Cocoon and participating in this migration,
Migration? More like extermination.
Huge.
You stay here.
So sorry. I didn't mean to.
These people need heroes. Here. You keep your cool, and they will too. You got it?
Got it.
What's our motto?
The army's no match for Nora.
That a boy.
We're on the resistance front. As you can see, there's a chest behind us. And another 50 gil.
Didn't do anything wrong.
It's over. It's all over.
Just gonna die.
You can hear that the general consensus isn't all that high on faith for people here. But we're going to go ahead and save real quick. We've switched over to a new character. We are currently playing as Snow. Snow functions a little differently. I gotta look again. Is there really no audio selections in this screen? I'm gonna cut real quick. I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. Okay, I'm back. And also I looked. There is no sound settings. So it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. I apologize. Subtitles are on. I've done all I can. Wish I could help further. I just hope it's loud enough for everybody.
This is crazy.
Then take a nap.
Really? Can I?
Sure. And when we're taking a dirt nap, you can save them all.
No, that's even worse.
No dirt naps today. We're all in this together. Our enemy's the Cocoon Sanctum, or dreaded Psychom, no less.
What's to dread? Psychom's nothing but a whole bunch of bluster and bullying. They've got nothing on Nora.
Well, we are the heroes after all.
Let's prove it!
Yeah!
All right,
Sanctum's
we're here with Snow and his buds.
Bring it on!
We got Godot and LeBrow. And Snow punches people. He doesn't care. Does not care. Those gloves are for a reason. There we are. We'll just work our way through all these guys, and we'll continue onwards. There's a dead soldier. Just gotta keep on going. Snow is interesting. He's a pretty unique character. He's very bulky. And he deals decent damage. He's actually just very strong right now. Just all around.
No more.
There are soldiers everywhere.
Yo, boss. What's the plan?
Charge in, guns blazing.
Hey, that's not a plan.
Real heroes don't need plans.
I will admit I'm not a huge fan of the whole theming at this first part here with Snow. His friends get a little old for me. There's dogs again. But yeah, his friends get a little old for me. Not a huge fan of the whole, we're the heroes though. Like, I get it, but you don't gotta tell me about it. LeBro just used a potion to heal us, and you'll note that they do not have a specified amount of health. Which is strange. I wonder why that is. Get another Phoenix down, another Chip Fang.
Plan is always
Cool.
hit him hard and hit him again.
We are pushing onwards to victory. I'm trying to get through this stuff as quickly as I possibly can. Because as I said, like the beginning section here can be a little tedious, especially to watch, but it is almost over. We're getting there. We're doing our best.
Don't you kids go follow behind now.
Ugh, so many fights. So many fights that you get nothing from. That is a complaint that I have about this. This opening is cool. I just wish that there was some point to it, or alternatively, there were less fights. They make you fight a lot to not gain anything from it. Like, you get items, I'll give them that. You are getting items. And you are somewhat learning the battle mechanics. Luckily, I think that's the last one we gotta do with snow for right now.
You all okay? Hey, careful with those. Don't worry. No one's moving to Pulse today. We'll clear you a path out of here, so be ready to...
Wait! Let me fight with you! You can't expect us to just sit here!
Good help.
Yep. Please, let us help!
Okay then. Volunteers front and center.
Here, take this one. Here you go. And one for you.
Count
Go
me in.
for it. Here's yours. Take care now. Mom?
Don't worry.
Huh?
So I just...
Hold it steady.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah, nice.
Can you show me again?
You got it.
That's how it works.
You sure?
Yeah. Moms are tough.
Right.
It's the last one, boss.
All right, last one. Somebody take it.
No.
Yeah.
Push comes to shove. Keep them safe.
First impression of snow? All talk.
All right, lay low and you'll be fine. We'll clear out the area. We're going home together!
Come on! Everybody up!
Right. New recruits, on me!
Come on.
Time to go, kiddo.
All right,
We're not losing to
continuing on. Iron Bangle, I'm actually going to hold on to that and not give it to Snow. He's not going to need it. Let's hit a save real quick. Knowing now that there's no audio stuff, I'm not that worried about it. Let's go onwards to fight this guy. You'll see that Snow uses hand grenades instead of Blitz. That was a bad hand grenade. Snow, what the heck? Throw it better this time. Snow, that was trash. Garbage. Blitz is so much better than hand grenade. Don't get shot in the face.
Much appreciated.
Getting healed up by potions. Not a problem.
How about this?
Alright. 3 stars. That was pretty bad. That's because Snow missed all of his freaking hand grenades.
Bro, back us up.
LeBro. She is a LeBro. More pointless fights. Woo! Also, the enemy or your teammates tend to target the same person that you do. Just tends to be the case. It's a good design. I definitely am glad they do that. Instead of just fighting whoever the hell they want. Because otherwise, fights would be much more difficult. We got a Wicked Fang that time.
Alright, let's shake things up a little.
We're moving along. More cutscenes.
Mobilize Beta Force! Put down the resistance!
Ruh-roh Raggy.
Heroes don't run from fights.
Well, try not to lose it either, Snow.
We fight and we survive.
Alright, Beta Behemoth. Ow. That's a lot of damage. Can you not? Godot looks like he's having back problems. I will point that. Lebro. Oh, they are literally just Godot and Lebro. Lebro actually looks like she somewhat knows what she's doing. She's also posing, though. Snow's the only one that looks like he knows how to fight here. Everybody else is looking like they're trying. It looks like they're trying to know. Jesus! Looks like they're trying to look like they know what they're doing. Wow. You can see that Godot actually does build up stagger pretty quickly with his multiple shots, and that is just due to the way that multiple hits works in this game. You will build up stagger regardless, and you will see that it does still deal. We are still dealing 170%. It's just that whenever you hit the stagger, you get a big jump. And we got 5 more potions. So we're just stocking up at the moment. We haven't really been using them. Because I don't think Lebro using them uses up ours. Our potions. This is good.
No! We got trouble! No kidding. Stay down.
Bye, Snow.
I told you, didn't I? Moms are tough.
Also, did I mention that Snow's freaking huge?
Get him home. Please.
Hold on!
Come on! have to move.
All right.
Game starts quick.
It's an out-and-out massacre. Those people won't even live long enough to die on Pulse.
That was the idea.
What?
Sanctum logic. They conjured up the Purge to eliminate a threat. I mean, why carry the danger all the way to Pulse? Why not just stamp it out here? Execution masquerading as exile. That's all the Purge ever was.
Relocation to Pulse. How does the government get away with pulling crap like that? And you knew this was gonna happen?
The Purge was SciComm. Private Sanctum troops, not the Guardian Corps.
SciComm, Guardian Corps. Soldiers are soldiers, aren't they? Pulse Foul C and their lessee are enemies of the state. Tell a soldier to kill an enemy, and you really think it's gonna matter what uniform he's wearing?
Might have mattered to that one. Couldn't shoot. Got himself shot instead.
How about you? Orders say shoot, you pull the trigger? Fine. Forget I asked.
Wait. What?
Got another fight. Let's go, Myrmidon. I'd prefer if you didn't keep attacking Saws. Please stop. Please stop. I don't want to have to heal him. God damn it.
I appreciate it.
I do want to state that I think the battle music in this game is phenomenal. Final Fantasy usually has that going for it. Its music is always good. But this game especially is some of my favorite music in video games in general. And there goes the Myrmidon.
What's that? Huh?
Attention Purge deportees! Attention Purge deportees! Put down your weapons and surrender immediately. Your removal is the will of the people of Cocoon. Should you attempt to flee, the Sanctum will employ every resource necessary to bring you to justice. This land is no longer your home. Cease hostilities and surrender at once.
Sarah!
Just what you were looking for.
Yeah. Right in there.
The Pulse Foul C.
Don't worry. We'll be okay.
Mom.
Here. It's too much, isn't it? Face it later. Ciao!
Hey, wait!
You said it made you happy when I smiled, didn't you? But really, I was afraid. I was always afraid.
So, how do you figure that post-Falsi is different from the Sanctums? All things being equal, I'd just as soon keep one.
Time to jump.
Yeah, I know. Hey! Hang on! What the? Hey! Damn. She can do it, so can we.
Come on!
What about the others? They didn't die. They couldn't have died.
Of course not.
Hey, get a grip, man! What's wrong with you?
Get him home. Get who home?
Toss me that.
Catch. What are you doing?
So what are you afraid of, huh? You're supposed to be the hero. She's waiting there, ain't she? Your lovely bride-to-be? Isn't it about time you picked her up?
Yeah. There's our ride.
Now you're talking.
All right. A lot is happening. We got a power circle. Dang it, wrong button. It is Y. Equipment. We'll go ahead and switch over. As you can see, their weapons affect their magic and their strength. In this case, he's just using strength, so I'm just going to put on the power circle because it deals more damage.
Ain't gonna stop us.
We're going to go ahead and let Godot run up on his own. We're going to save. And that is where we're going to call it for this time. So, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave a like down below. If you want to see more from me, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. I upload every single day at 12 Eastern Standard Time. With all that said, have a good one, guys. And for those of you that are interested, hang around for the data logs. We got a lot for this one. Alright. It's terms of data logs. We'll start from the top and go down. Events. Chapter 1. Defiers of Fate. Lightning and Saws are held aboard a military purge train along with a group of civilians destined for exile. In stark contrast to their uncertain and despairing people around her, Lightning appears determined and focused. She seizes upon the instant of an inattention to disable a guard, and her impressive display inspires Saws and the other civilians to take up arms against the soldiers. After clashing with the army forces, the train crashes to a halt in the war-torn district known as the Hanging Edge. Saw's attempts to figure out Lightning's angle, but she shows little desire to share. The former soldier throws herself into battle without the slightest hint of hesitation. What could be driving her? Fields of War. Suspect citizens of Cocoon are wrenched from their tranquil existence and threatened with exile to the world of Pulse. The purge has begun. The land below is said to crawl with unknown perils, and terrified civilians begin to rebel against the purge. A revolt also occurs on the train transporting purge deportees, as Lightning's battle against the guards galvanizes the other prisoners into action. The train comes to a halt in the district of the Hanging Edge, now a hellish war zone where soldiers open fire indiscriminately upon civilians. Lightning makes her way through the middle of the conflict, but all but ignoring her uninvited companion Saz. She seems determined to press onwards even when the path before her is destroyed by military strikes. Another rebellion. The peaceful citizens of Cocoon live in constant fear of invasion by the forces of Pulse, the world below and supposed home of terrors unknown. Were even a single Pulsian agent to be discovered on Cocoon, panic and civil unrest would be sure to follow, threatening the very fabric of society. To prevent such a calamity, the Sanctum, Cocoon's governing body, initiates the Purge, a government initiative officially entailing the deportation of all those who may have come into contact with the corrupting Pulsian influences. However, the Sanctum army is now brutally slaughtering the civilians that they were supposed to be deporting. Realizing that the Purge is nothing more than a massacre in disguise, Snow leads the young freedom fighters of Nora in an effort to protect the Purge deportees from the Sanctum soldiers. The Warpath Home. The Purge is a Sanctum initiative designed to protect the stability of Cocoon by forcing potentially dangerous civilians to relocate to Pulse. However, the relocation is simply a facade to cover the massacre that ensues. The government's true goal is the brutal extermination of all possible threats to a peaceful society. Having discovered the horrific truth, Snow leads the members of Nora against the government soldiers of SICOM. Inspired by the action of this handful of brave young men and women, the beleaguered civilians take heart and join the battle in hope of returning to a normal life. Among the citizens who stand against the forces of SICOM is a mother who wishes for nothing more than to protect her son. Fallen Innocents. Cocoon citizens have always been terrified of Pulse and the mysterious horrors that are said to stalk its hostile wastelands. Their fear is so great that if a Cocoon native were to have even the briefest contact with Pulsian elements, former friends and neighbors would consider them corrupted and dangerous. In light of this fact, the Sanctum orders the purging of Bodum in an effort to remove all potentially Pulse-tainted civilians. Accordingly, soldiers round up all those identified as candidates for relocation and inform them of their impending exile. However, SICOM, the elite arm of the Sanctum military, then begins to massacre the helpless civilians. This prompts Snow to lead the people in a rebellion against the army. Tragically, one of the civilians who decides to follow him, hoping to protect her son, dies in the act of saving Snow's life. From afar, the boy witnesses the moment of his mother's death in shock and disbelief. The Fal'Cie awaits. A massive object is transported through the sky over the Hanging Edge. This object is a Pulse vestige, a lower world artifact that has been nothing more than a Bodum landmark. 2 days ago, it was discovered that the vestige housed a long-dormant Pulse Fal'Cie. The Fal'Cie had slumbered undisturbed on the outskirts of a Cocoon city for centuries. The Sanctum decrees that the presence of the Pulse entity and its corrupting magics have tainted the entire population of the city, and orders the Purge. 13 days. 13 days exile. A Fal'Cie of the Pulse origins was discovered within a vestige on the outskirts of Bodum 2 days previously, having apparently spent centuries in hibernation with humans none the wiser to its presence. The Sanctum deemed the potential contamination by Pulse magic a risk too great to overlook, and immediately enacted legislation permitting the Purge, an involuntary removal of the Fal'Cie and the entire population of Bodum from Cocoon. Deportees were told that they would be transported to Pulse. History and myth. Pulse. Resting in Cocoon's shadow, the sprawling and enigmatic lower world of Pulse is home to a multitude of terrors. The land is commonly believed to be inhospitable to human life, and a strict ban on interworld travel forbids citizens of Cocoon from venturing there to challenge this hypothesis. Not even members of the Sanctum's upper echelon can claim to have seen the surface with their own eyes, but the attempted invasion by the world's savage armies several centuries ago is well documented. Widespread fear of a repeated assault persists among the populace even today, with the colloquial references often likening the world to a manner of living hell. Pulse fal'Cie. Fal'Cie are in existence beyond human comprehension, possessed of incredible magic power. The ones responsible for Cocoon's construction are protectors of humanity, but there are others of their kind as well, the fal'Cie, who dwell on Pulse and name themselves enemies of Cocoon. Humans who encounter Pulse fal'Cie are cursed, being turned to l'Cie and ordered to destroy Cocoon. It is for this reason that most ordinary citizens support the Purge. Anyone who may have come into contact with one of these fal'Cie represents a dire threat. Locales. Cocoon. From her lofty seat, the world of Cocoon has long enjoyed tranquility. The interior of her spherical shell supports several sprawling cities and a population numbering in the tens of millions. Although a variety of dangerous beasts prowl the wilds, advanced technology and the protection of the world's fal'Cie keepers ensure the residents a peaceful and prosperous existence. Travel to the lower world of Pulse is forbidden, but given their deep-seated cultural fears of the place, Cocoon citizens would not even think to venture beyond the paradise they know. The Hanging Edge. A relic of days before the War of Transgression, the Hanging Edge is located near Cocoon's outer rim. The area was once a thriving urban center, but residents were forced to abandon the location when an attack by Paulsian forces cracked Cocoon's shell during the conflict several centuries past. It was since designated a restricted zone with civilian access prohibited, soon became nothing more than a name on local maps. Cocoon Society. The Sanctum. Cocoon's central government, the Sanctum, holds supreme executive, legislative, and judicial power. It also maintains directive authority over the military. Despite the fact that Cocoon was built by the fal'Cie and not by humans, fal'Cie opt to participate only superficially in governmental affairs, leaving Cocoon's administration entirely at the discretion of the human Sanctum and its Primarch, Gallanth Daisley. The Purge. To the millions who call Cocoon home, the lower world of Pulse represents a constant source of fear. Suspecting association with the Pulse means stigmatization as an enemy of the state and all mankind, even for born and raised citizens of Cocoon. The recent discovery of a fal'Cie from Pulse near the city of Bodom caused widespread civil unrest. After placing the city's entire population under quarantine due to the possibility of contamination, the Sanctum then announced its intent to forcibly relocate the affected to Pulse in an emergency measure dubbed by authorities as the Purge. SciComm. The Sanctum military is composed of two main branches. The Guardian Corps responsible for maintaining security in various jurisdictions throughout Cocoon, and SciComm, Public Security and Intelligence Command. SciComm is an elite special operations unit charged with protecting Cocoon from Paulsian incursions. In contrast to the lightly armored Guardian Corps, SciComm employs an array of advanced heavy weaponry and cruiser-class airships. As SciComm bears responsibility for any and all threats of Pulse origins, it was SciComm who conducted the Purge. Bioweapons. The Sanctum has developed a vast arsenal of weaponry to defend against the constant threat of Pulse, and these living weapons are one of the many fruits of the research its research has borne. Ordinary Cocoon wildlife transformed into efficient killing machinery through selective breeding, intense training, and physical augmentation. Bioweapons retain all the raw power and feral fury of their natural counterparts, while obeying the commands of their handlers with unwavering loyalty. AMP technology. Antimatter Manipulation Principle, AMP, forms the foundation for a variety of technological wonders, enabling phenomena ranging from phase space interference to the manipulation of gravitational force. Humans ordinarily lack the means to wield magic, but throughout the use of mana drives and another product of the principle, it is possible to synthesize its effects. NORA. The paramilitary organization known as NORA is a group composed of like-minded youths. Assembled by Snow and self-funded by the operation of a seaside cafe in Bodom, functioning as a neighborhood watch of sorts. NORA members patrol the vicinity of Bodom for trouble. Most often, trouble consists of encroachments by dangerous forms of wildlife. NORA had never openly acted out against the Sanctum prior to the Purge, and because of this, the military had been content to turn a blind eye to the group's activities. Primer, gameplay basics, basic controls. There you go. Saving as you explore the environs. I'm gonna go over this. I'm gonna skip over this stuff. This doesn't tell you anything. I'm just gonna make them go away. I'm gonna make all of these go away. I believe that is everything as far as story. And here's some enemy intel. You can just kind of see their stats. I'll flash them on the screen real quick, so you can look at them if you're interested. And I'll do the same thing at the end of every other episode for anything new. You can pause the video if you're interested. And that is going to wrap this up. Have a good one, guys.